Hello, we're glad to have you join us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu welcomes Shell and its partners' announcement of the final investment decision on the Bonga North Deep offshore field. In a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president says the landmark development, being Nigeria's first deep water oil project in over a decade, underscores the transformative impact of the current administration's policies and reforms in attracting investments in the oil and gas sector. The Bonga North oil field, located 130 kilometers offshore in oil mining lease 118, represent an impressive estimated $5 billion investment and is expected to yield approximately 350 million barrels of crude oil. And Shell holds the largest operational interest with 55%. Its other partners are the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, ExxonMobil, Total Energies and Eni. President Tinubu says the feat signals a renewed confidence in Nigeria's energy sector going forward. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zephaniah Jizalo, says 86,846 Nigerians have benefited from the National Lottery Trust Fund programs, while 7 licensees and 29 betting permits have been issued to lottery operators by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. The minister was briefing Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, when she led the Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit to interface with the ministry. Kenneth Nanim reports.
Proper utilization of the National Lottery Trust Fund is part of deliverables for the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. The Minister, Zephaniah Jizalo, says effort of the ministry in this sector has generated 241,180 direct and indirect jobs for Nigerians. The minister also has confirmed the verification and certification of 600 zonal intervention and constitutive projects and programs in the federal and senatorial districts nationwide. He also explains the ministry's commitment in monitoring compliance to 1% monthly allocation for training of local government staff and 5% monthly allocation to traditional rulers in 5 states.
I want to assure you I'm here to make sure that those policies are being implemented to the last.
We also want you to indicate the items that you not believe that we do not perform, so that we're clear.
The special advisor to the president on policy and coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, commended the ministry in areas it did well and encouraged more efforts to ensure attention is given to every sector of the ministry. The performance evaluation was an opportunity for a renewed commitment by the ministry to realign with the priority areas of the current administration towards achieving the set goals. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
From the judiciary scene, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has dismissed an appeal filed by the Hope Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2023 presidential election, Ambrose Owuru, where he challenged the electoral victory of President Bola Tinubu. Judiciary correspondent Dele Atumbi reports that it is the 3rd time his appeal has been dismissed for lacking in merit.
In 2019, Ambrose Owuru filed a petition before the Presidential Election Petition Court challenging former President Muhammadu Buhari's victory in that year's election. Claiming that he won the poll, he based his petition on an alleged referendum purportedly conducted by Hope Democratic Party, HDP. The suit was dismissed by the different courts up to the Apex Court. The appeal court had even fined him 40 million naira when his matter was dismissed by the court. Not deterred, Ambrose Owuru filed a fresh appeal before the Supreme Court, claiming that he won the 2023 election and that President Bola Tinubu was ineligible to contest the 2023 election. When the matter came up in court, the 5-man panel of Supreme Court justices led by Justice Wani Abba Aji took exception to Owuru's appearance as counsel in his own matter, prompting him to address the court without his wig and gown. The court also taxed him on the lack of documents in support of his claims. This prompted his suit to be dismissed with 5 million naira cost in favor of the fourth defendant, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We have made a good case and they have refused to hear us.
The Apex Court said the lapses in Owuru's filings showed a flagrant abuse of the court process. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
As a major player in the federal government's economic planning and budgeting process, the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning recognizes the need for its staff to continually adapt, innovate and evolve. To this end, the ministry has embarked on a key reform initiative with the introduction of its Performance Management System Day. Nneka Uko reports that the move is part of the ministry's efforts to tackle inefficiencies by promoting a culture of accountability leading to excellence.
We are here to reflect on the journey so far, evaluate our gains where we stand, and take proactive and immediate bold steps to building a high performance and efficient culture within the service. You saw in that video, it says EPIC. EPIC simply stands for a culture that is efficient, it is productive. Also to enhance accountability. Era that some people will stay back in their village while some other people will be working at the has gone. Everybody in the ministry will be accountable for whatever they do, so we can easily track their performances.
As President Tinubu is set to present the 2025 appropriation bill to the Senate tomorrow, Director General, Confederation of APC Support Groups, Professor Kailani Mohammed says the funding of the budget will be easier compared to previous years as the oil and gas sector is reactivated and more revenue expected. Speaking to newsmen in Abuja, Professor Kailani appealed to Nigerians of all sections to support the reforms of the Tinubu presidency.
And harness the opportunity, this prospect that God gave to us. So on the issue of Port Harcourt refinery, we thank God that Kerry and his team did a wonderful job. Nigerians can take a ride to Port Harcourt refinery and see it. This will boost our, income. And as what NNPC said, in the nearest future, not far, we will start exporting these refined products to earn foreign exchange for Nigeria. I think that is a kudos. Despite the challenges, this remarkable achievement must all be applauded.
Also appealed to the National Assembly to continue to supporting the executive in the laudable reforms. Recent cases of fire incidents in Lagos are cause for concern, with stakeholders stressing the significance of prevention of reoccurrence through public enlightenment on the need to place premium on safety. Joel Popola reports that illegal structures around the scene of fire incidents is another thorny issue that escalates the situation.
Fresh cases of fire incidents in some parts of Lagos after about 3 months without any record of such is an unwanted narrative that has truncated what has been about 3 months without a record of fire incidents. Lack of safety awareness, improper storage of highly inflammable items have been identified as major risk factors which needs to be addressed.
Authorities cannot be everywhere. You know, the markets, you need to have first response.
Try to check the environment, the electricity, because most of the time they will say it's electrical fault.
We really have so many flammable materials stored in the house. Many put their gas cylinders inside the kitchen.
With about 20 fire stations spread across Lagos State and a toll-free line as well as an active social media presence, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service is urging Lagosians to call for help without delay. The consensus of stakeholders is that more should be done in public enlightenment on preventive measures and emergency response. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
And still staying in Lagos, we join Joel Popoala for a live update. Joel, from your report, it's really disheartening to see property worth millions just go down. What are your findings as regard the causes of some of these fire incidents?
Thank you, Ruth. Between January and June this year, Lagos State recorded no fewer than 1,085 cases of fire incidents. And the concerned authorities, the emergency respondents, swung into action, thinking outside the box to provide solutions to these teething problems. And for some time, we had a lull in fire incidents, but now the situation is rearing its ugly head again. The major causes of the fire incidents in Lagos, especially at the markets, are improper storage of combustible materials, that is explosive, and also some of them are caused by negligence, power surge, and other issues. But now the Lagos State government is coming hard in terms of enforcement of safety laws. Now public buildings, marketplaces have to have fire extinguishers and other items like fire hydrants to de-escalate emergency situations around the markets. And also, in terms of emergency response, the Lagos State government, through the Lagos State Fire and Response Service, is intensifying efforts to ensure prompt evacuation to ensure prompt response. Now, it should be recalled that when there was a fire outbreak at Mandilas Market, the emergency responders could not access the market. Now, this forced the Lagos State government, through the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LAPSCA, to evacuate all the extension, that is to demolish all extension around the market to ensure that the emergency responders have smooth access to the market. And now, one of the major causes of the fire incident is flames from generator. Now, all the traders have their own individual generating sets. What the Lagos State government is contemplating is to have a central power generating system such that no individual shop owner will rely on his own generating system. Everybody now will be using the central power generating system. This to a large extent, and more enforcement, more enlightenment on the need to ensure safety will reduce cases of fire incidents in Lagos and indeed other parts of the country to the barest minimum.
Indeed, Joel, I agree with you, especially with the aspect of ensuring that people take precautionary measures. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you, Joel. All right, we move from outside the studio. We're getting into the studio, still staying in Lagos. Let's join Hingino. She has our next set of reports.
Nigeria is no doubt blessed with huge export potential, but this, especially non-oil export, is not yet at its peak, with many still oblivious of the inherent gains. In this report, Joel Popoala sampled the views of stakeholders on how Nigeria can leverage non-oil export for the much-needed economic growth.
For the stability of the Naira to be guaranteed, Nigeria must earn foreign exchange through export of commodities. With oil exports still dominant, experts believe Nigeria's export potential has not been fully maximized. Apart from solid minerals, Nigeria's agricultural produce, which are in commercial quantities, are parts of the major commodities in demand in the international markets. but many a times enabling environment and government policy may slow down the realization of these prospects.
Bringing one policy today, changing it tomorrow, consistency in policies are major problems. No business can thrive in a situation of uncertainty. First thing they need to do, if we want to industrialize, we need to go to backward integration.
When you export, you earn a foreign exchange for the country. You benefit from that because you also can use your own foreign exchange for your imports.
The Nigerian Export Promotion Council is aware of these challenges, and the agency is addressing it in diverse ways to ensure steady flow of foreign exchange for the country.
One of the few things that we're doing to ensure that we reduce the logistic issues encountered by our exporters is to operationalize the domestic export warehouse and make it a one-stop shop where exporters can bring in their goods in containers, and all the agencies will do the documentation and the stamping, and once the container is sealed, it goes straight to the port.
The agency is working with all relevant stakeholders to change all the unwanted narrative to propel the Nigerian economy towards the path of growth. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Issues bordering on human rights abuses against women and children remain topical as interest groups and organizations continue to find new ways of solving these problems. This was at a forum in Lagos where the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, tried to galvanize voices of those concerned in ensuring they secure a better future for the vulnerable in the society. Diana Ajali reports.
Children account for 40% of the country's population, and according to the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa, with more than 200 million people, while nearly 49.9% are women. However, concerned stakeholders say the interests of women should be top priority. One of the many objectives of the International Federation of Female Lawyers, FIDA, is making decisions that would favor women and children.
There is already right to education in the UBE Act, which I'm encouraging FIDA to leverage on and make sure that at least children have basic education.
According to NAPTIP, I said over 1 million victims of trafficking, and they are women and children in Nigeria. Over 1 million, that is alarming. And every day is increasing.
This for FIDA is a call to action for stakeholders to make transformative and sustainable decisions to this cause of women and children.
We say no to discrimination, especially discrimination against women. We say that women should be better empowered through financial remedies like banks giving them loans.
We are also calling on law enforcement agents, to hear the victims and give them opportunity to express their views, especially when abuses occur.
To loud out their voices in demanding not just the survival, but a thriving future for the vulnerable in the society, the better the chances in transforming lives. In Lagos, Diana Ajay.
Good to have you join us in Makudi. The Benue State government has donated 100 Hilux vehicles and 600 combatant motorcycles to security formations to ensure adequate security surveillance in the state. Governor Hyacinth Alia at the ceremony also launched 500 personnel of the Benue State Civil Protection Guards with the assurance that his administration will continue to place premium on security of lives and property. Elias at Itiav has more.
The donation of 100 operational vehicles and 600 combatant motorcycles to security formations and other non-conventional security outfits in the state is in line with the present administration's commitment to providing a secure environment so as to promote living conditions and livelihoods. Governor Hyacinth earlier, while inaugurating the 5,000 personnel of the Benue State Civil Protection Guards, as well as a special task force codenamed Operation Anyamyo, urged them to work closely with conventional security agencies to stamp out all forms of criminality in the state.
I am aware of my duty to protect the lives and property of our people. My total commitment to ensuring the safety of every Benue resident is firm, and security remains my top priority.
Inspector General of Police, represented by the DIG Operations, Ari Muhammad Ali, who lauded the strides of the state government in security, announced the donation of 2 armored personnel carrier vans to the state command. National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Umar Ganduje, and the Governor of Gombe State, Yahya Inua, who graced the event, and other speakers called for discipline and synergy among the different formations.
What is in effective security arrangement is coordination and cooperation among security agencies.
The donation of these operational vehicles and other peace-building initiatives by the state government, according to analysts, will ensure more relative peace in all the nooks and crannies of the state to pave way for industrial and other developmental strides of the present administration. In Makudi, Elias, ATF, NTA News.
NTA Network Center Makudi has held its 2024 edition of Interdenominational Christmas Carol of 9 lessons with the theme Songs of Peace, Inspiring Unity and Harmony. Masafan Dankaro reports that the carol drew participants from churches within Makudi, the Benue State capital.
The NTA Network Center Makudi Choir set the pace for the event. Zonal Director of the center, Mr. Pam Dunyam, in his address of welcome, said the carol service was to give those present an opportunity to appreciate God for how far He has taken them in the year against all odds.
From the prophecy of Isaiah to the birth of Jesus Christ, we will journey through the biblical narrative illuminated by the beauty of music and the warmth of prayer.
There were different song renditions from the choir groups present. The 9 lessons were centered on the reason for the season.
And he said, I have heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou art naked?
Guest preacher Bishop Mike Angor of the Kingdomite Word International Church Makudi, in his message Joy to the World, noted that before the coming of Christ at Christmas, the world was weeping because of what had befallen man. However, Christ came to bring hope to mankind.
The greatest part of Christmas is that the whole universe was weeping till Jesus Christ came. And when He came, there was joy everywhere.
In Makudi, Masifan Dankaro, NTA News.
And that does it from Makudi. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Susan. Well, residents of Benue State are appealing to the state government not to relent in its industrialization efforts for the good of the masses. Elias Etiaf takes a look at the industrialization drive of the state government.
Inception of the present administration, much attention has been given to the revival of moribund industries as well as establishment of new ones to boost the economy of the state. Notable is the upgrading of the Benue Printing and Publishing Company to meet up with printing needs of the state and even beyond, as well as the establishment of the Benue Fashion and ICT Hub under the support of the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima. Others are the establishment of the Nails and Steel Limited, the Nylon Production Factory, the Water Production Factory, and the Bakery Company. Some residents who lauded the strides of the state government in industrializing the state said the development will bring immense benefits and trickle-down effects.
A lot of our youths
are now getting what you call useful employment into these government ventures. And that's a plus for our government.
For this, we create employment, we reduce crime, and to attract more revenue into the state. We cannot be waiting for the revenue from Abuja every time.
Anywhere that government present is located, it creates employment and development to that area.
Stakeholders believe that this development is already providing thousands of direct and indirect employment opportunities for residents of the state. In Makurdi, Elias, ETF, NTA News.
All right, let's still join Elias ETF for more insight on the industrialization drive of the state government. Elias, you have more you want to share with us as regards the efforts put in by the state government.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Ruth. Here we are along the George Akume Way in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, where one of the factories is located, the bakery factory. Beside me here is the company, and as you can see, people trooping out, in and out to buy the products. In fact, when we came in here, a lot of people are still waiting for the water to be produced so that they can buy, since they produce quality water. And since inception of the present administration, the governor has demonstrated a clear-cut stand on investing today for a better tomorrow, and that he has done in several sectors. Just a few weeks ago, the inauguration of the nails and steel industry was launched, as well as the nylon production factory, and this has created a lot of employment for teeming populace, and more people are expected to gain employment. And as we move forward, the state is expecting to reap its benefit from this investment, and the governor has not relented in his quest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elias. I'm sure if the state government keep up with the pace it's going, 2025 will look good for residents there. Thank you. All right, we turn to other issues. Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport in Medina, Saudi Arabia. The Vice President was received on arrival by the Deputy Governor of Medina, Abdul Mohsen bin Nayef bin Hamad, and Consul General of Jeddah, Ambassador Muazzam Nayaya, and other diplomatic officials in Nigerian Embassy in Saudi Arabia. Vice President Shettima is in Medina for visitation to the Holy Mosque of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and other holy sites. The Vice President will also proceed to Mecca, where he will perform the Lesser Hajj in the holy city. And still talking about religious affairs, the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission is set to flag off the 2024 pilgrimage to Israel and Jordan. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, made this known in Abuja at the 2024 Christmas Carol as part of the Commission's program for the Yuletide. Bishop Stephen Adegbite notes that the first batch of the pilgrims for the 2024 pilgrimage exercise will depart Lagos on 22nd December with the intending pilgrims from Lagos State.
Until we finish, that will be in Enugu, that will be in Yola, that will be in Abuja. We are running through from, we have not done the one for Easter, the one for main pilgrimage, so we are combining the two. Once we start 22nd December, we are running it to April, May of next year until we finish by the special grace of God. And we must thank Mr. President for the support we have received. We don't take that for granted. It shall be well with him and his cabinet.
The Commission also prayed for the national coexistence among Nigerians. Kaduna is our next stop as we join Mohammed Ajingi. Mohammed?
Joining us in Kaduna. Nigeria is spearheading a revolution in rice production among West African states to ensure sufficiency of rice in the region and stop importation which has turned some West African countries to dumping ground of foreign rice. Yohannes Hassanboro reports that Nigeria hosted a meeting under the auspices of Hadejia Jama'are River Basin Development Authority with representatives from 6 West African countries.
West Africa has been a major importer of rice, with Nigeria leading 1,600 tons, Senegal 880,000 tons, and Ghana import 400,000 tons annually. This has put pressure on the region's lean resources, which compel ECOWAS member states to look inward and come up with a strategy to stop rice importation. Hadejia Jama'are River Basin Development Authority, Nigeria's key agricultural basins, hosted the ECOWAS Rice Observatory in a peer-to-peer engagement aimed at enhancing rice production across West Africa. Representatives from 6 ECOWAS member states of Togo, Ghana, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and Burkina Faso are marshalling workable documents for the realization of the set objectives. As part of the program, stakeholders visited the Tiga Dam for an on-the-spot assessment of the basin's resources and infrastructure.
And we've chosen Nigeria for its intervention in these areas, and we want other regions also to come see, share experience, learn, and be able to replicate that in their various countries.
That basin that you are doing before is not a dry place. It is a basin itself, but right now it is dry as a result of non-flow of continual water from this dam up to Lake Chad.
This initiative is expected to serve as a model for other basins in West Africa, setting the stage for collective progress in agricultural development with greater emphasis on rice production. In Kano, Yohannes Hassanboro, NTA News.
From agriculture to the health sector, where about 150 people have benefited from free medical services provided by the Federal Road Safety Corps headquarters in collaboration with Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation. Adamu Sunday reports that the free medical services focus on ailments considered life-threatening.
The high cost of healthcare services are said to have led to reliance on self-medication and herbal remedies, resulting in preventable deaths. To address this, the Federal Road Safety Corps RS1 headquarters, in partnership with the Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation, offered free consultations, blood pressure checks, and medication to patients unable to afford medical care.
We have been supported by Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation with the hearing aids. Those whom we test and we see that their BP is high and are in need of drugs, we have free drugs to give them.
They are our partners in our Kaduna State ambulance and emergency services. This is another initiative that is also helping to give first aid to accidents on the spot immediately it happened.
Among those benefiting were 53-year-old M. Morrison, receiving treatment for an eye condition, and 64-year-old Brenda Emeka Ike, who is managing hypertension. Both expressed gratitude for the free health care.
If every other organizations will follow suit, it will reduce suffering.
We are happy about it. It's a good omen. Let them keep it up.
This annual humanitarian outreach, part of an ongoing effort to support the less privileged, has made impact on the lives of many, just like Amen and Brenda. In Kaduna, Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
And that's our contributions from Kaduna, Kemi, Oshin. We take it off from here in our Ibadan Network Center. But after this break, don't go away.
Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA.
And welcome to Ibadan. The administration of President Bola Tinubu has reiterated commitment towards establishing a model compressed natural gas system in urban centers across the country towards reducing the effect of high cost of petrol. This came to the fore at a one-day workshop organized by the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology in collaboration with the Kwara State Ministry of Environment in Ilorin. Shola Wahid has the report.
The workshop was aimed at educating the people on the economic viability of using the compressed natural gas, which is available in abundance in the country. The establishment of CNG systems in urban centers across the country, according to the Deputy Director, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, Mrs. Medina Ayada, will promote sustainable and energy-independent transportation systems.
As a stakeholder, together we must devise strategies for partnership and identify resources to realize the vision to sustainable and energy-independent transportation.
Project Officer Omone Joseph highlighted the initiative as part of the federal government's effort to address challenges and promote sustainability.
Nigeria, presently we have thousands, millions of untapped flared gas, which we produce in abundance due to several industrial processes. Now, CNG will enable us to convert that waste to wealth.
People are complaining that the money of the conversion is a bit high, but I want to bet you, by the time you calculate the money you spend on fuel for a particular time frame, you're going to realize that you're definitely going to recover your money.
I believe the state government will move far in this conversion of various vehicles in the state to CNG. So far there is an existing gas station for the supply of that CNG.
Nigerians are advised to key into the compressed natural gas initiative as it saves costs and will also ensure job creation and economic development. In Interdenominational Wahid, NTA News.
The EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, has called on youth to forge a united front against corruption. This was his message to a town hall meeting to commemorate the 2024 International Anti-Corruption Day in Ibadan. Here is the report.
Describing corruption as a major societal ill that not only destroys public finances, businesses and the image of the country, but also bites harder against the prospects and possibilities of youths. A message delivered by the Acting Zonal Director, EFCC, Ibadan Zonal Directorate, Hawa Garba Region, therefore challenge youth to embrace integrity and collaborate in the fight against corruption.
We want to really talk to the youth on the ills of economic and financial crime, especially the cyber crime. That's why this year our target has been the youth, and that's why we want to call the youth together and talk to them on what they're supposed to know on the issues of cyber crime and internet fraud in general.
Stakeholders at the event noted that the 2024 theme for the International Anti-Corruption Day, Uniting the Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity, calls for youth to be watchdogs and avoid all forms of corruption.
My choice to them is to be people of integrity, to be people, to be passionate about moving Nigeria forward, and to ensure that at all times they do the right thing.
So means that as a citizen, if you find anything that you don't find, that you think is suspicious, you should report to EFCC and be a whistleblower and do not give false information to them. The town hall meeting attended by youth and relevant stakeholders is part of pragmatic anti-graft initiative against corruption.
And that's it from Ibadan. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Kemi. The theatre commander Operation Hadinkai has dismissed the claim by Amnesty International that since the start of Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast region, over 10,000 civilians have died in Nigerian military detention facilities. While speaking to defense correspondent on Media Tower, the theatre commander says the pronouncement by Amnesty International is mischievous and lacks merit, particularly as it comes at this end-and-cycle stage of the counter-terrorism war in the northeast.
How many military detentions can occupy 10,000? When people throw out figures anyhow, have you ever seen 10,000 people arranged in a hall, in a place, I'm sure most of them have not even spoken to 1,000 people before. When you say 10,000 people die in detention, that's not true, just as has been said earlier on. The same figure they sent about the 10,000 abortions that here in the Northeast, which the National Human Rights Commission have absolved the military from that. Following that, they brought up this figure. So it's part of their imagination, and I don't think there's anything like that.
Major General Wadi Shaibu reiterates that the armed forces under the leadership of the CDS, General Christopher Musa, remains professional in carrying out its constitutional mandate in line with global best practices. The Nigerian Army says it is recommitting to harnessing cutting-edge technology and innovation to safeguard Nigeria's sovereignty and uphold its constitutional mandate of a future-driven force. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, affirmed this at the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2024 in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
The Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference, which is a convergence of the top brass of the Nigerian Army, is designed to assess the Nigerian Army's activities for the outgoing year while consolidating plans for the forthcoming one. The conference offers an opportunity to review existing policies, formulate new ones, and evolve strategies to drive them all within Nigeria's national security framework.
Remember, as leaders, we must embody decisive action and set good examples that inspire the force. Hence, you must lead with determination, resilience, empathy, and unyielding commitment to our mission objectives.
The recent development in these theaters underscore the need for a meeting of this nature to enable us critically assess our operations and other activities with a view to bolstering our overall performance.
The Chief of Army Staff presented group personnel accident insurance checks to some next of kin of fallen heroes of the Nigerian Army, while diligence and hard work was equally recognized through presentation of vehicles to Army warrant officers, including only female, to benefit from the gesture. Nwokore Uchemeri, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
A capacity building workshop to align digital initiatives with the renewed hope agenda is holding at the National Defense College, Abuja, tagged Leadership and Strategy in a Digital Era. The training is set to enhance operations in the Nigerian military and government agencies, including the Nigerian Television Authority. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani reports.
Lesson in teamwork, how to adopt strategic thinking.
The objective there is to empower participants with strategies for improved personal and professional wellness. Ability to engage the world through learning, problem solving, and creativity.
Key players here at the National Defense College say leadership and strategic skills require a strong understanding of emerging technologies, data analysis, adaptability to rapid change, a visionary mindset, effective communication, and the ability to predict change.
It is my opinion that knowledge and skill on leadership and strategy in this digital age have become invaluable to address development and security challenges.
If you begin to renew institutions, you are renewing the country. Remember, we're in an era of renewed hope. So now we are trying to renew institutions in order to achieve that renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
Participants say this has largely changed their outlook about how they operate in their various organizations.
We had an exercise which was very beautiful because it actually demonstrated the need for a change of mindset.
Yes, it's interesting to know that leadership cuts across so many spheres of life, and also how you now respond to such will also make you a better leader.
NTA has done well by availing staff an opportunity to come to a training like this. Experience, education, and exposure. I think we have a lot to do as far as exposure is concerned.
This is also part of several initiatives by the Nigerian military to foster civil-military relations and enhance transformational leadership for effective change across the country. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Youths with creative and innovative business ideas seeking opportunities to expand and turn their ideas into economically viable businesses have been provided support in Abuja, Ogun State. Yemi Dalemo reports.
The Nigeria Youth Entrepreneurship Network is a platform designed to provide disadvantaged groups in the society, such as young people and women.
What we do is to provide resources, provide them with tools, provide them with information.
This convergence in Abuja is therefore to activate the Nigeria Youth Entrepreneurship Network in Ogun State, where youths are passionate to turn their creativity, innovation and ideas into successful business enterprise.
And seeing that we've won a grant now at Toro, I am super happy.
I've actually been building a very innovative solution for all Nigerians. I call it the energy box.
I've actually gained a lot.
The Nigeria Youth Entrepreneurship Network promises more encouragement for passionate, creative and innovative youths across the country to actualize the vision of President Bola Tinubu Youth Development Initiative. In Abuja, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Pioneers like Demas Nwoko, a renowned Nigerian artist and architect, have long championed the incorporation of traditional African elements into modern design, inspiring a new wave of architects to follow in his footsteps. Gufen Shajingwai reports that this approach of Afrocentric architecture is now gaining momentum in Nigeria as architects seek to break away from colonial-era architectural influences and create buildings that truly reflect Nigeria's diverse cultural identity.
The rhythm of African drums beats strong, echoing the vibrant cultural heritage of the continent. This same rhythm is being translated into the language of Afrocentric architecture, where buildings are designed to resonate with the soul of Africa.
Part of African architecture is definitely the materials. Local days, we use our hands, we model the clay, the earth, we mold it and make our buildings. Today, you can actually make some very strong blocks, like what architect Demas Nwoko, Nigeria's premier Nigerian-centric architect, does. He gets the materials from the site and he has patented some clay bricks that when you use them, you don't need AC in your house. That was the key.
It's going back and saying this value in our heritage, this value in our architectural thought and history that comes from Africa. It's saying that before the white man came, we had wonderful ideas of designing cities, of designing buildings, and somehow along the line, these ideas have sort of been kind of buried. And so what we're doing here in CPDI is to revive these ideas.
Through their work, the Center for Planning and Design Initiative is helping to create buildings that are not only functional, but also tell a story of African pride and resilience. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
No place like Nigeria, right? That's nationwide. Thank you for your company. I'm Ruth Aguwele. Bye.